Hi friends, it's Thursday, not Wednesday, but I still have some Dollar Tree decor ideas, DIY, and more for you. Now, if that's something you're into, I highly suggest you hit that subscribe button. Today, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with a good friend, Teresa B DIY, but more about that in a little bit. Let's start crafting. So first, we have these two canvases here that I'm opening up, and we have these two 4x6 frames that I got from Dollar Tree. All of this is from Dollar Tree, and I'm just taking these apart because I don't need any of this. I don't need the backing, anything. I literally only need the glass. So what I'm doing today is I'm actually making some Cottagecore DIY decor for you. And I don't know if you guys have seen this all over Pinterest and TikTok, but this decor style is the hottest trend right now. So I was so eager to test it out and see what I could come up with for you guys. And somebody actually did ask me to do this a day or so ago, and I was like, what is this? I had literally never heard of it until a couple days ago. So this is quite the challenge. So Cottagecore it basically kind of makes you think of like Disney movies and like Disney princesses in the woods. That's kind of what I think of when I think of it. But it's really eclectic, honestly, and it's really more of a mix between shabby chic and French cottage. So it has a lot of muted colors, and it has some greens and blues and pinks and yellows. And I was very, very happy that this uses a lot of green because I especially love using that color. But mostly I've used it for farmhouse crafts. So I'm excited to show you guys what I do with these colors with these DIYs. So first, I'm taking plaster white Waverly chalk paint on this canvas, the frame that was inside of the canvas that you just saw me take apart. And I'm just coating this completely. I'm not so much worrying about the back of it because that part is not going to be shown. But what I'm trying to do is, one of the other things that I saw a lot when I was looking for inspiration for Cottagecore DIYs was I saw a lot of pressed flowers, a lot of pressed plants, and I don't have anything like that already pressed or something like that, and this hasn't been sitting there for a month, so I kind of have to come up with my own way to make something look like a pressed flower or plant. So that's exactly what I'm doing with these Dollar Tree stickers. So that's what you see me doing right there. So I apologize, it's slightly out of frame, but I am taking this greenery sticker from Dollar Tree and I'm putting this directly on the glass, and then I'm going to put the other sheet of glass that I took from the other frame and press this on top of it so it looks like a pressed plant. And when I took the sticker apart, when I took the sticker off the sheet, it came apart. So that's why you see me putting it together back in pieces like that, because it came apart. But anyway, I wasn't sure what the best, I guess, adhesive would be for something like this. I've never seen anybody else put glass in this before, and I'm sure other people have, but I didn't see anybody else to take inspiration from for putting glass together, so I just decided to try my hand at it with some hot glue and see if it would actually hold. And I really just used a lot of it, but I used glue to hold the glass together too after I pressed it, and then all of the glass is sticking with the hot glue in the frame as well. So this piece, it's literally just gonna go up on my shelf, so I'm not really worried about this being like, you know, non-removable at all. Like maybe I'll take it apart someday. So I need to leave that option on the table here. So that's why I'm just using hot glue for everything. I kind of see hot glue as something temporary, really. I don't really feel like hot glue is something that keeps things permanent. So with that in mind, this is how it came out, and I absolutely love this because it just reminds me of, I don't know, a French cottage or something in the countryside. So like I said, today's video is a collaboration with my good friend Teresa B DIY. I'm so excited to be working with her again. We've collaborated quite a few times, and for this video we actually mailed each other some items to work with. So those were not actually some of the items that she sent me, but you'll see more of that in a little bit. But she is a farmhouse crafter. She has a lot of great videos. She just did a Christmas in July video that was a huge hit, so please go check that out. Please go check out her channel. She has a video for you today as well, so please go check out her video. I've linked it down for you below, and make sure you subscribe to her channel if you like what you see, and make sure to tell her that I sent you. So next, for this next DIY, this was one of the items that she sent me actually, this adorable home sign. And I'm going to take this apart, and not in the way that you would think, actually. I wanted to do something maybe with those words, but anyway I thought about doing something, it looked too farmhouse to me, and that was really the challenge because I am typically a farmhouse crafter. So stepping away from that for a minute to do a completely different decor style that I just heard of 2 days ago was a big challenge. So I painted this whole thing in folk art, a green folk art chalk paint. And this is the green color I was telling you guys about that I love to use. So that is what I decided to coat this frame in. And I had to use quite a few coats because it wasn't really adhering well to this. And what I've heard from other DIYers is if you want something to adhere to this like satiny or glossy material in these frames at Dollar Tree, spray a clear coat of matte Rust-Oleum on top of it, spray paint. And just use a couple coats of that, and then the paint will adhere to that. So I've been dying to try out that trend, but I don't have that spray paint on hand. So I just had to go about it the more difficult way, of course, and just go over it, again and again and again, and make sure it was a thick coat of paint on this frame. So next I took this plaster chalk paint, Waverly plaster chalk paint, and now I'm just taking my brush. I'm just doing some light dry brushing on this, and really I'm just trying to do what the trend is asking for, which is muted colors. So I'm trying to mute this green. It came out a little bit more vibrant than I thought it would, actually. So that's really what I'm doing and what you see me doing here. So I just was trying to get a lot of paint off of my brush, use as minimal paint as possible, really, and use this to make the green look faded and muted. And it comes out really cool. I'm excited for you guys to see this one. So I actually took some scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby, and you see the words on the one side, but I used a glue stick and just glued some scrapbook paper to the other side. And I thought the scrapbook paper actually made it look like a love letter or something. So that's really what I'm trying to do with this craft. I'm trying to make it look like, I don't know, it's a framed love letter or something like that. And that to me is really, I don't know, romantic decor really, but I mean you can go kind of crazy with this. What was awesome about this decor, also Cottagecore, is I noticed a lot of like fairies and mushrooms and things like that, and fairy gardens also having a lot to do with this theme, and tea parties, stuff like that. Like I said, it really reminded me of like a Disney movie. So definitely go look that up, you guys, go check it out. But I am really, really liking this new decor style, and I might do a couple more videos on it depending on how you guys like this, but I also really love it, so I might just do it more for me. So next I'm taking these little paper flowers from Hobby Lobby. They come in a pack of like, I want to say maybe about 15, I don't know, but I got it half price at Hobby Lobby just yesterday. So all of their paper flowers, if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, from the Paper Studio, seem to be 50% off. And I love these little flowers. I always get a pack of these when I go there, actually, and I just ran out. So this was perfect for this DIY. So I'm just hot gluing them to each corner, and that I feel like is giving it the French, well, not French cottage, but you know what I mean, Cottagecore look. And then it comes out looking like this, just like a framed love letter. That's the way I see it when I look at this, and I think it's so cute. Can't wait to put this on my shelves. So if you guys like Dollar Tree DIYs, if you like DIY decor, make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Marcus, the Crafty Kitty, and I thank you so much for watching our videos. We always appreciate you guys and your lovely comments and your support. It just means the world to us. So just wanted to pop in really quick and say thank you guys for watching. So next up, so these little items that I'm making next, these are more like it kind of reminds me of like fairy gardens and things like that I was telling you about earlier. This is a cute little jar from Dollar Tree, and I've been seeing this little, I call it a jar, I don't know if that's actually the right name for it, but I've been seeing this at Dollar Tree for a while, and I actually wanted to pick one up, and so I just got one yesterday, and this I thought was the perfect thing for this, but I was actually thinking about maybe using chalk paint on this jar, and now I'm glad I didn't, and I left it completely clear. And here's the Crafty Kitty, just like I mentioned. This is Marcus. You can't really see his face that well right now, and I apologize, it's a little bit out of frame. I didn't realize until after I was done filming just how out of frame this was. But oh my gosh, this is so cute what he does next, you guys. He is like obsessed with this DIY for some reason, probably because I'm using Spanish moss, but I'm using Dollar Tree Spanish moss, and I'm just taking a paintbrush, and I'm using the paintbrush to shove the Spanish moss down this jar. It kind of reminds you of like a ship in the bottle kind of thing, and that's just exactly what you see me doing there. I'm literally just using it to shove it down into the jar, and it worked. It actually did work really well. So next I took a tiny little Dollar Tree lavender plant, and I'm just cutting off the stem of it, and I want this to look like similar to like the pressed plant effect, I guess, but it's a plant in a jar. And that really just reminded me of like a, I don't know, fairy garden or something, but I loved the aesthetic of this decor style. So that's really why I was interested to make these crafts. Kind of last minute. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this style for this video, but I was so inspired by all of the videos that I'm seeing lately that I had to give it a shot. So I was just trying to figure out the best way to put this flower in this jar. It would not fit with the leaves on it, so I had to take that off and and then just try to put the little flower in there just on its own. And then I think I used the paintbrush again for this, but yeah, that was really the best way to get this flower in there. You had to take all of the leaves off of it. It was too thick to go into the jar, so you had to just take all of the other pieces off. And like I said, I apologize, this was slightly out of frame. And what's funny is that the more I look at my jacket right now, I feel like this jacket reminds me of Cottagecore, and maybe that's why I wore that for this DIY. I don't know, maybe just subconsciously, but I just noticed that and I thought it was really funny. Anyway, so I managed to get the flower in there, and then I was like, okay, do I want to put some more pieces in there too? So I'll wait for you guys to see the end result. I didn't want to spoil it, so you'll see the end result shortly. But next, we're moving on to this next DIY. This is a little tiny rock from Dollar Tree that they had some pieces that you could kind of make your own little fairy garden. So they had some pieces for that. They had some tiny little mushrooms. I'm not seeing them in stores anymore, so I just missed it because now I'm doing Cottage Decor, which has like mushrooms in it, and now I can't find any of that. But anyway, I'm painting this rock completely with Waverly plaster chalk paint because I'm going to repaint it in a more Cottagecore DIY style. So it just needed a light coat of paint. I'm not worried about coating this completely. I'm just trying to make sure all of the bright and vibrant colors are out of this so I can add more muted colors to it. And that's exactly what you see me do here. I'm using more of that green home folk art chalk paint that you see right there. And I'm taking a very, very tiny brush, and I'm actually just painting all of the little leaves because this has a couple flowers on it and a butterfly. So now I'm just filling in the spots that the leaves were in and just painted over, and now I'm just going in and making them a muted green. So I just fast forwarded like all of this because it was, as you could probably guess, a lot of painting. You're getting a great shot of Marcus's cat tower right there in the background, so you can tell he's the spoiled one in the family. He's got like 6 scratching posts on that thing, and he still likes to scratch our couch no matter what we do. So every time I thought I was done with the leaves, I noticed a couple more spots where it could use more paint. And so you just see me going in there and just going in and fixing it. And I think I was having a conversation with my husband or something. But next I'm just taking some pink chalk paint now. And that's the Waverly Ballet Slipper chalk paint. I love this color so much. Sometimes I actually like to add a little bit of white to it, make it even lighter, make it even more muted. Sometimes this pink, to me, comes out a little bit more bright than I would like for farmhouse crafts. So for this, I think it actually worked out good. Yeah, it is pretty dark, but at least it's not like Pepto-Bismol color or something. So I was just using that to fill in all of the flowers, and next there is a tiny little butterfly design on this, so I'm using the Waverly Pool color to color in the butterfly with that little muted blue. That's what I love about all of these colors, they're all muted, so I was like, this is perfect for Cottagecore DIYs. And then this is how they both turned out, and this reminded me of like, I don't know, a fairy garden or a cottage or something. I just really, really liked it. So I believe this is the last DIY. This is another item that Teresa sent me. I had been looking for these Dollar Tree windows everywhere, so she hooked me up with one, and oh my gosh, what's funny is that like I can't find them in Dollar Tree anymore, right? But I found them on Amazon, and it was like $20 for 4 of these. And I was like, you could get 4 for $4 at Dollar Tree if you just could find them. That's the problem. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing that. Maybe maybe if I get desperate enough, because I never ever received these in stores near me. So what is great is that you could actually use this, you could actually do 2 windows technically, because as you can see here, I just took it apart and it kind of creates another window. So that's great. But for this, I actually needed the other back of it. So so that didn't quite work for this. Maybe eventually I'll turn it into 2 separate pieces, but it was very, very important that I kept the back of this. So here's more of that green color that I love. I'm completely coating this. This actually kept the chalk paint really, really well. Even though this window was plastic, it actually adhered to this window great. So I want to say I only had to do technically 2 full coats of chalk paint on this, but as you can probably tell, there's a lot of little individual ridges in between in this window, a lot of little slits here. So that was, I would say, the most tedious part, because you just want to make sure to get in all of those creases. So I'm taking more scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. I'm just using the window really quickly to trace on top of this. This is going to be the background of my window, and wait till you see this, you guys. I'm in love with this piece. So I'm just laying it down flat, and then I was like, oh wait, I need something sturdy to hold this up, because I can't just like glue it. So I put this back in. This is the back of the frame. Just putting this right back in. I luckily held on to all of the little tiny screws, so it was perfect. And so I'm just making sure it's laid down flat. I did have to cut the scrapbook paper quite a few times to make it fit in there properly, but it was fine. So I just stuck the screws directly, piercing the paper, and then I just take my little tiny screwdriver and just hook it back in. And actually this hammer and screwdriver set I got from Hobby Lobby. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's perfect for me, because now I can stop stealing my husband's tools. And then this is how it turned out. So I absolutely love it, you guys. So if you liked today's DIYs, make sure you check out Teresa's video. She came up with some great nautical decor DIYs for you. And if you want to watch more of my videos, check them out here on the left. And let's keep in touch on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.